In this tutorial we are going to draw a tiger on colored paper. I've also tried it on green, but well, not quite what I was looking for. I think the brownish papers are best for this. And for this tutorial I'm using a Schulz hammer drawing paper, which is grayish. And it's very nice kind of paper. I was drawing the ear already, so never mind that. And what I'm using a lot is a yellow ochre. This is a Derwent pastel pencil. Very nice to work with. And there's a lot of yellow ochre in our tiger. And what I'm trying is to get the feel of where the ear will be, and in comparison where the eye would go. And I just loosen up a little bit to get the feel. What I'm also using a lot is the burnt sienna. It's a dark brown. And also this color appears a lot in our tiger. Here I'm using it for the back of the ear. And you can see I'm sparing out the little white spot that is on the back of the ear. And I also use it for the stripes that are on the tiger. And there are a lot of stripes. So what I did is I've taken some pictures from Google Images of tigers, and I've studied all the lines that are, especially on the face, they are very typical, and on the rest of the body of course too. So the burnt sienna and the yellow ochre, those are very important. And then of course white. And white I use a lot. Everybody that is drawing with color pencils or pastel pencils will notice that white is very important. Here I'm using it on the back of the neck and for the inside of the ear. Those hairs appear to be very light. And you can see that pencil is already really short. And also I use black, but I use that only over the burnt sienna. The problem with black is that it can make your drawing look very flat. So be very sparse with the black. Here I'm using it for the inside of the ear, to get the shadows in that ear and just behind the little earlobe. But as I'm saying, be careful with black. It can ruin your drawing, so use it only to blend in a little bit. Well, as I was explaining, the ear appeared. And once you have that ear, that's very nice, because then you do not have to go back there too much and ruin the face of the tiger once you've drawn that in. And here I'm starting to decide where the eye will be. It's just at the bottom of the ear where the eye will start. And once you have that eye in, you can start by drawing in the bridge of the nose and the nose itself. It's quite a long nose, so keep a close eye on the photograph that you've maybe printed out of the tiger you want to draw. And from the tip of the nose I work my way down to the chin. Once you have that, you can draw in all the typical lines that are in the face of your tiger. And there are a lot of them. And of course every tiger is a little bit different, but the main lines are always quite the same. Should you want to draw along, you can slow down this film, or maybe you can pause it and get all the lines in. So I was saying there are a lot, and it's very important that they are in the right place. You can see on the chin there's a lot of darkness, so I've already colored that in with the burnt sienna. And from the ear down there's also a very important line that has to be drawn in. This is where they go. And here is a little bit more for the thickness of the ear itself. And also the tiger has a very big collar. It's a thick collar that is just behind the ears, behind the head itself. So I also draw that in with that burnt sienna. I want the drawing to fade out as it goes to the left, so I place less and less detail as I go to the left of the drawing. But now that I've drawn in the main lines of the stripes on our tiger, I'm shifting back to the yellow ochre again. And now I'm starting to lay a base of that yellow ochre. I carefully draw along the dark lines because they will mix very easily. But yeah, here and there I want to have them mixed, like on that ear piece. But the lines in the face, I'm really careful to draw alongside of that and not to mix it in too much. So I spare out the stripes of the tiger, and should you want to make them even a little bit darker, simply go over them again to get more detail. And then I very carefully draw in the white areas, the white hairs, and the white hairs are around the eye. And these are very, very typical, and that's what really makes the eye. It's those white lines that are around them. And here around the nose there are also white hairs. They're also on the lip, and I draw along the little pits where the whiskers will go in. And here on the face itself, that's also quite white, so I simply draw that in and go carefully around the lines that I've drawn in. You can see how fast they mix, so be careful with that. The collar itself also has a lot of white hairs. You can see how very nice the white pastel can make hairs appear. For the nose itself I use orange, and then I go over that with the white pastel. This together, blended, makes about the color that the nose is. And on the bridge of the nose I'm also using white. I go over the yellow ochre and you can see them blending together. A little bit more white here. You do not want the nose to be all orange, so put over a little bit white to get the right color. For the eye, I also place in white. And then I put in the pupil with the black. Then I put over the white the yellow ochre. And then go in with black again and draw in that very dark line that is around the eye. The eye is very small, so keep it small and do not work too much in it. Keep it open and just bright, and you can see that now why I've drawn in first white and then put a little bit color over it. You can see the effect here, so it's quite easy, and do not mess around too much in the eye. I also use the black pastel for the darkest shadows, for the little holes for the whiskers, the inside of the nostril and the lower part of the chin. There's a lot of shadow there, and this is the beard, and also a little bit black for the ear and just behind the edge of the ear. And you can erase the pastel a little bit, but not too much. Well, it simply fades out. And for the whiskers I simply use the white pastel pencil. Then I go back to the orange, the same one that I've used on the tip of the nose. And I use also this color, very scarce. It's just to lift up the color of the yellow ochre. This is the other ear. First I draw in the back of the ear. And I spare out that white dot that is on the back of the ear. You can see it here. It's very typical, so I really wanted to draw that in. And of course the hairs in the ear. And then a little bit of yellow ochre over it. And then to top it off with a little bit black. And the white line, of course. Well, I'm really getting a tiger now. It's very nice. Then at this stage you can put in more detail if you want, a little bit for the darkest shadows and the whitest whites, and you can make it as realistic as possible. Maybe some that tear line is very important. Also that color that is just behind that face. Easily blend in, and here I'm using a little bit more black for the whiskers to make them really pop out. It's lovely to see how easily you can make hairs appear. Well, this is my study so far. I hope you will try it too, maybe in just color pencils or in pastel pencils. I've also drawn more wild animals, if you like, so please check them out. Anyhow, I wish you all the luck and all the fun with drawing this magnificent animal, and I hope to see you again in one of my other videos. See you next time. Take care.